Hello everyone, welcome to the page once again. If you are new to the channel, please kindly consider subscribing to the channel, but if you are old to the channel, please thank you for being on the channel. So it has been a very long time now that we've learned something new from this page. Okay, so today we are going to continue with our funeral book design work. Alright, so today we are going to look at the final part of our funeral book program design, which is page 6 and 7 in Adobe Photoshop. Alright, so let's get into Photoshop and let's begin to do something. Alright, so let's jump straight into Photoshop. Alright, now as we jump straight into Photoshop, let's create a work document for the project we are doing. So let's go to File, select New, and let's change here to international paper, and the paper size we are using is A3. If yours is not on A3, just right click or just click at the drop down arrow right here and select A3, and then leave this width size and everything like this. Come to your resolution and reduce the resolution to 100, and the color mode, leave it to RGB color and hit on OK. Now the paper is in portrait form. Let's change that to landscape. So let's go to image and go to image rotation and pick 90 degrees clockwise to get something like this. The next thing is go to zoom and let's fit our page like this to the screen. Now the next thing we are going to do is we are going to set a guide for our work. So to set a guide, go to view, select new, and then let's choose vertical guide, because what we are going to, the guide we want is a vertical one, so we want the page to divide into two. So let's type the 50% and now hit on OK. Now our page has been divided into two for us. Okay, so as the page has been divided like this, the next thing that I want us to do to the page is we are going to add more look to our background. Okay, so let's go to File, let's go to Place, and then let's bring in this very picture like that. Now let's open this up like this. Alright, so this has been set over here. So all that we do is go to filter, and I want us to blur this out a little bit. So let's go to filter and let's pick Gaussian blur. Now let's increase the radius to 8.0, and then you can use this to increase it. Okay, you can use this to increase it or decrease. Okay, or you can simply type the figure, highlight the old one, or just delete the old one in and type in 8.0 and hit on OK. So your blur will be like this. All right, so the next thing we are going to do is we are going to reduce the opacity for this to 20, so that our background will look like this for us. Now the next thing that I want us to do to this is let's go to our shape and pick your shape tool, and let's come here and draw a shape like this at the top part of our page like this. Now the color that I'm using is, the code is E5414C, and hit on OK. Now let's draw another one at the bottom part over here, and this one we are changing the color for that one. So let's open this and we are adjusting that to a bit more darker one, and the code is 970009, and hit on OK, so that we get that over there. Let's bring this down a little bit. Okay, I think that is good over there. Now the next thing is let's select the shape here and go to File, go to Place, and let's bring in this shape. Okay, open this to this end to cover the entire space like this. Now drag it to the top and position it to a more positionable way that you want it to look like for you. Now right click on that and select create clipping mask so that it will fit into the shape we've drawn on the top. So this is what I want, so I'll go to my blending option and I'll put that on overlay to something like this. Okay, now as this has been set, I'll reduce the opacity for that a little bit to somewhere 769, and I'll hit on OK. Now let me select this shape at the bottom. Now go to File again, go to Place, and let's select this very image Okay, so let me bring this down like this. Okay, and position it up to a size that I want. So I want this to cover the entire shape at the bottom like this. Okay, so anytime you are doing a clipping mask, make sure the picture or the image you are going to clip mask into a shape is directly on top of the shape. Okay, so as you can see, this is the shape behind. So as you can see, this is the shape in which I'm going to clip mask that picture into. So you can see that the image is directly on top of that. Okay, so anytime you want to do your clipping mask, make sure your picture or your image is directly on top of the shape or anywhere you want to clip mask that picture. All right, so after that, everything has been in place. Right click on the picture and let's clip mask that. Okay, so you can see that the picture has entered into the shape. Okay, all right, so the next thing that I want us to do is we are going to blur this one to the picture also out a little bit. So let's go to filter and let's pick blur and Gaussian blur. Now we are putting that one also on 8.0 and then let's hit on OK. Now let's go to our blending option and put that one as well on overlay to get something like this. Okay, now the next thing that I want us to do is let's begin with our numbering of the page. So let's go to our shape and right click on the shape like this, the shape tool, and pick rounded rectangle tool. Now draw a shape like this at the bottom part, and then let's change the color to, open your color box over here, let's change it to white and hit on OK. Okay, so now let me position this over here. Okay, then let me duplicate that, Ctrl J, and let's move this to this end like this. Okay, so the next thing that I want us to do over here is to begin with our numbering of the page, and that is the most important part in brochure design. Okay, if you mess up with the page, everything that you are doing becomes a waste of time. So you have to take your time and follow my tutorial that I have about how to arrange pages in brochure or booklet or bookfold in Adobe Photoshop. I have that video and I'll be making that video available in the link in the description for you. Okay, so that you follow that and learn how to arrange the pages in Adobe Photoshop. All right, so let's begin with it, numbering. So today we are designing the page 6 and 7. Okay, page 6 and 7. Okay, so this page will be your page 7 and this place will be your page 6. Okay, so let's pick our type tool and let me zoom in properly so that we can type here. So I will say our page here will be page 6. So here is going to be page 6. Okay, so in other words, if you knew that the page you can keep it in mind, all that you do is before you start with your brochure design, collate the pages or arrange the pages on paper or on sheet of paper or anywhere inside your jotter or your notepad, anywhere, so that you'll be following it. If not, just take your time and jot them down. Okay, it do confuse at time. Okay, so let's duplicate this, the 6, and let's move the 6 and put it on top of this. Now we said this place will be our page 7. Okay, then you hit on OK at the top. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'll go to my text and let me copy this, Ctrl C, or you can simply right click on that and select copy, and then when you come here, paste that over here. And now let's change the color to white. Okay, then over here let me change here to black and hit on OK. And let's open a character box and let's reduce the size. And let's bring it close to this place like this. Now duplicate that, Ctrl J, and duplicate that, and move the duplicated one to this place like this. Okay, I think this is very good. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my guide to this place. And I'll bring this one to this place. Now I want to measure whether the two guides are okay, so I'll pick my shape tool and then I'll use it to measure. Okay, so let me move it to this end as well. Okay, now let me bring that down. Then let me bring another guide here as well, and let me bring one to okay. Okay. All right, so the next thing that we are going to do is pick your text, your type tool, and let's change the color to white, and then let's say picture of children like this. Now open this up like this and position that over here. Now right click on that and go to blending options, bring this down, and let's drop a little shadow for that. So the distance, bring it to 5, your size, your spread to 4, and then your size also bring it to 8, and hit on OK over there. So the next thing we are going to do is hit on the Ctrl J, and let's duplicate that and bring the duplicated layer to this end and select that and set, and let's highlight this, go to your text and let's copy this, and now let's paste that to this place. Then we can then position this like this. Okay, all right, so the next thing that we'll do is go to your shape tool and right click on that and pick custom shape. Okay, and then open this box from here and pick this very shape. Now let's draw that shape over here, change the color for that shape to white, and then go to edit, go to transform path, and that flip vertical. Now select the shape and then the tribute by grandchildren and center the two. Let's bring that, let me bring that up. Okay, I think the interval is okay. Now duplicate that shape, Ctrl J and duplicate. Now drag the duplicated one to this place. And let's center that over here. Okay, so that is it over there. Now the next thing we are going to do is let's pick our shape tool again, but this time around we are using the rounded rectangle tool, and then we are changing the radius to um to let me put that on 50, and let me try it out and see if what I want. Okay, I think that is the size that I want, so I'll draw a shape like this. Okay, and then I'll position this over here like this. Then I'll duplicate this shape and I'll move the duplicated one to this very end. And I'll close it up a little bit. Okay, then what I'll do again is I'll duplicate this one like this, and I'll drag it to the down. Okay, so something like this. Okay, and that is perfect. So what I'll do next is I'll go to file and go to place, and now let me go to my desktop and I'll look for page 6 and 7, and then let me bring in the first picture. Okay, position that on top of the shape and right click on that and select create clipping mask. Okay, now what I'll do to this shape is I'll go to my brightness, and then let me close this, and I'll bring this down a little bit, the contrast. Okay, then I'll add a little curve. I'll add a curve to that as well. Okay, then let's select this one too. Go to file, go to place, and let's bring in this picture. Now bring this to this very end like that. Right click on that and select create clipping mask. Position it over here like this. Now go to file again and select this very image. And right click on that and select create clipping mask, and let's position this one too. Alright, so the next thing we are going to do is let's select the shape. Let's select this shape, and then let's right click on that and go to blending options. Now we are going to drop, or we are going to add a little stroke and shadow to that. So the first one is let's pick our shadow, our stroke first, and now let's change the color to this and hit on OK, and let's increase that to 8, the size to 8. Okay, now the next one is let's go to our drop shadow, and let's drop a little shadow for that as well. Let's spread, let's put it on 5. Distance, let's increase that to 12 as well, and then the size of the shadow, let's send that one as well to 20, and then the angle, let's put it on 90, and now let's hit on OK. The next one is go down Alt and drag this FX to the next shape, and then hold down Alt again and drag FX to the next shape like that. Now let's pick our type tool, and the font we are using is Arial Nova and the type is bold. Now let's type the name over here, and let's say Tina. Let's change the color to black. Ctrl J, and let's duplicate that. Okay, let's pick our type tool and let's type here Ctrl J, and let's duplicate that, and let's bring the duplicated one to the down, and let's type there gorgeous win. Okay, I think that is good, perfect over there. The next one is, let's come here and then we are going to bring the tribute by grandchildren, the grandchildren tribute to this end. So let's make a shape like this using our type tool over here. Go back to your text and let's copy this and let's paste all of that to this place. Okay, open your character box and reduce this spacing. Okay, so that we get something like this. Okay, so the next one is, let's duplicate this and move the duplicated one to this place. Okay, now select your type tool and let's come here and then copy all of that and paste that over here like this. Now paste all of that over there, and that is it. Okay, so guys, that is the design for us. See you in my next video. Bye bye.